Hi, this is Don Matheson from ScottsdaleRealEstate.com and AZ Golf Homes, and this is our Inside Scottsdale moment, and we are really excited to be here at the City Hall today with the City Manager, David Richert. And David, I just want to ask you a couple quick questions if I could.
Sure.
What do you like best about being City Manager?
Since I've been here in the last 2.5 years, it is a city that is reasonably in size that you can talk about it being a global city. In other words, it attracts a lot of people from around the world. It also has the quaintness of the city that it started from 60 years ago, and many of the residents that were around at that time as children and have grown through the expansion of the city. The Western influence is just outstanding in terms of the architecture and attitude about what we are as the westernmost Western city. My one concern about it is that we continue to draw that in many different ways, and not everything has to have a hitching post in front of it, but we don't want to lose that character because there's many people from around the world who still go with the idea that this is the Wild West. The other thing I would say about the community is that it has a strong economic base that has been, if I would say, idling at the moment, adjusting its base and trying to figure out where we're going to go for the next 3 to 5 years in an economy that we've been sitting in. But it does have the capacity and the will, and that comes from the people and the business community and the residents who just want to see it stay as it has been and enhance its future.
So financially, we're in pretty good shape. I mean, I've talked to you before and a number of the other council members and city officials, and we're doing pretty good actually in the grand scheme of things.
We've had to do a lot of cutting in the last couple of years, but to the extent that those cuts were timely, and we did it through retirements and attrition and things that weren't as necessary at that point, we've exhausted most of those. We've given the council a budget this year that is generally within the realm of they need to figure out how to set the table and then serve what they're going to serve. There's enough capacity to do that. They just have to see how they're going to arrange it, and if it's going to be breakfast, lunch, or dinner.
Right.
You probably want to tend towards keeping the services at as utmost a safe city, a clean city, and one that's notably picturesque when you view it and drive through it and visit it. And we have kept those all intact with the budget. But there are cuts. We're just like everyone else. We're feeling some of that pain, and we're trying to direct that in a way that sets us up that as economies get better, we can add those things back in if they choose to do them at that time.
Right, that's terrific. So what do you think would, in your mind, make Scottsdale so great? Just one, 2 or 3 words. What do you think? I mean, you've been around cities, you've been around cultures, you've been exposed on a global sense and a national sense, but Scottsdale for you, what would you say makes it great?
I see it as a city still of a reasonable size that people can relate to one another as though they're part of the same community.
Right.
It isn't segmented or divided up like some of the others, and you get a mix of employment or social levels of incomes and activities throughout the city that mix and don't seem to have a problem mixing, and that is really unique to Scottsdale. And when you bring people here or talk about being here, people are generally friendly and they want you to enjoy the services and the places, the establishments, the resorts, the events that are going on. And I've never been in a city like this that has had so many events all year round that draw people, and it hits at different aspects of what people enjoy. So it isn't just center focused, it has lots of areas that people can go to and enjoy. So if it's 1 week food here and it's the arts the next week, it's the horse show, it's the car show, it's the golf tournament, it's baseball. We have a lot of activity, and we'd like to try to grow that to a 12-month of the year activity. And those are some of the things we're planning on and working on right now.
Well, that's great, David. This is Don Matheson from ScottsdaleRealEstate.com and AZ Golf Homes, and this is your Inside Scottsdale moment. Thanks, David. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.